Welcome back, everybody, to the daily show where we discuss and do technical analysis for big mega cap stocks. So show your support by hitting that thumbs up button, and that is greatly appreciated. And if you're new here, consider subscribing, and that means a lot to me. Now, if you want to get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, my analysis in 3 days of live trading, definitely check out the Patreon, and that link will be down below in the description. And now let's get right into it, guys. On Nvidia stock, it's up 3.45%, and talking about an insane move. I mean, look at this, guys. From this hammer candle 4 days ago, right here from 392, this stock rallied over $60 in just 4 days without any catalyst, anything, absolutely nothing going on, and this thing is up over $60 in just about 4 days. And now if you look at my screen, we do have this down trend line right here, and looks like early as Monday, Nvidia could be hitting this trend line right here, and that is around, I would say, 456 to 457. We also have strong resistance right here at 460. Now Nvidia stock gapped up here from 423.81. So now you have to see, we also have earnings coming on Nvidia, and that's not next week, but the following week we have earnings from Nvidia. And if this thing actually cannot break above 460, then I would say this is it. You're going to see a rejection from this trend line right here, and that should take Nvidia down to at least this gap down here, 423.81. Now because of earnings, if this thing actually gets over 460, then watch out, we might be hitting a new all-time high on Nvidia. So next week, guys, watch right here, 456 to 457 for a rejection right here. And if that breaks, watch out for 460 and above 460. This head and shoulder, diamond pattern, whatever you want to call it, it's not going to play out at least this week. This thing can move above 460 and we could see a new all-time high. Now Nvidia gets rejected from here, then things can change. Watch out for a dump off right down here to this red line 50 SMA, 443.51, and if that gives up down here, 434.20 SMA, and then the gap below 423.81. We also have strong support right here at 420. So keep an eye on Nvidia next week. This could be a big mover going into Monday. On Apple, stock is down 0.5%, and I said it in my video Thursday night. Apple gets down to 173 or below, I'll be buying that dip. And guess what? I bought the dip at 143.47, and that position already up green right now, and looks like we could be going up even more. Above 177, Apple can run all the way up to 180 and then 183. Now, if you actually bought the dip Friday right here, just like I said in my video, you're up already on your position here on Apple. Because if you're buying dip here on Apple stock, there is absolutely nothing can go wrong unless you are chasing right here or even right here, guys, close to 200. Now Apple stock next week, 177 breaks, you're going to see a move up to 180 and then 183. To the downside, we do have strong support at 175, 173, and only if that gives up, you're going to see Apple dropping all the way down to 170. On Meta, it's up 1.20%, and Meta, we took a small position on Meta, some calls on Thursday, and now on Friday, we got paid here on Meta. And also, I did actually sell out of my position on Netflix, and that was a huge runner, guys. We sold, and then that thing ran another $4. Now, all these trades, in real time, I share everything with my Patreon group, so if you're interested, check out the link below down in the description. And also, all these videos are coming out, and my sponsor, my Patreon group. So I want to thank each and every one of you guys for supporting and staying with me for the last 2 years. Now on Meta, if you look at my screen, 316 needs to break. And if that happens, you're going to see a quick trip all the way up to 326. Right now it's holding above 312 right here, and that's gonna be a key level to watch. 312 gives up here on Meta, then watch out for the support down here. 306, 305, and then 300. On Google, stock is up 1.39%, and Google finally trading above 130. Just like I said in my last video, Google holding above 5-day moving average right here. You're going to see 130, and soon as 130 breaks, now that Google stock trading above 130, we got this massive gap right here on Google stock. And if you look at Meta, guys, what happened? Huge gap down right on earnings, and then that entire gap actually got filled the next day, and this one could be doing the same thing. It's taking some time, but I think above 130, the next stop definitely needs to break 131.08. 13 SMA here on this daily chart, and above that, easy, a quick trip all the way up to 135 possible on Google. Now to the downside, below 130, we left a gap open here, right here, 127.74, and that could be a buying opportunity if you're buying the dip here on Google stock, and that holds right here, 127.74. We also have 5-day moving average right here sitting at 127.51, so this is gonna be a strong support right here, gap fill, and then a reversal we could see from here on Google. Now, if that gives up, then watch out. There might be more downside down to 123. So this was a beautiful trade on Nflx. It's up on the day 1.80% on Friday. But look at the dip we got here on Nflx. 417, we got 430 calls. I did take profit on Thursday. I left 2 runners on Nflx. And look at what happened on Friday, guys. 435 almost, 434.82, and now trading at 432.36. So this is why when you see good earnings, huge gap up, you do not go and short the stock. Most people, what they do, they short right here. No, you need to wait for the dip, and especially when the earnings are good, you need to buy the dip and play to the upside. Do not go and short the stock with good earnings. Now, if you go back and watch all my videos, especially on Nflx, I've been talking about it right here that it's holding for 100. And if you actually bought the dip anywhere close to 400, you got paid big time. And that is why after earnings, it's always better to wait for the dip. And then if you can buy the dip, stock will run. I mean, look at this run here, guys. From 400 to 435 within just what, 5-6 days. So next week things are getting really overbought and frothy. I think we might see a pullback, and if that happens, Nflx right now definitely it's not a buy in my book anymore. If you're buying here, that's chasing. You want to wait for a pullback at least down to 418, and also we got this gap down here at 412.52. Now, if the rally continues here on Nflx, watch out for a move up to 445 and then 450. This Bollinger Band, I said it before, expanding. And that means one thing, a Bollinger Band on top will allow the stock to move even higher. And this is exactly what you're seeing here on Nflx. So this thing here, it's not done. All you need is a nice pullback. That does not mean that you go and short the stock right here. Never short a stock with good earnings. You want to wait for a pullback, and then that would be your entry on that stock, especially with good earnings. And I hope that makes sense to you guys. On Tesla stock, it's up 0.66%. Now Tesla, also my position here on Tesla, all green. All my shares are green here on Tesla. And I said it before, guys, that in the short term, you're going to see 230 to 242. Now, yes, it's not up to 242 yet, but look at this, guys. I mean, it's really close. 226.37. And if you actually, bought the dip instead of shorting right here, you actually made really good money. And I was actually really happy to see a lot of people posting profit on Tesla, especially in my Discord. And that was a really nice trade. And not only shares, the calls, someone had it, they actually never sold on Thursday. So she actually made really good money, I think over 130 or 50% on those 220 calls. And this thing got up to 226.37. And if you look at my screen, it was hitting this, not quite, hitting this 20 SMA, but really close. And then we saw a bit of a pullback because, this one also, guys, from right here, what is it? 194 up to 226. That is a big move within only 4 days. So anytime you see a big move like that, you'll have to come down, you'll have to digest, and then you are going to see continuation to the upside. Now Tesla, next week, if this thing actually breaks 228.31, 20 SMA right here, easily you're going to see a move up to 242 to close this gap on top. If there is a pullback, watch out for the support around 214 and then 212 right here. And also we left this gap open here on Tesla at 206. On Amazon stock is up 0.38%, and Amazon stock definitely getting exhausted after this big run. So I think same thing will happen just like Netflix. You're gonna see a pullback on Amazon down to this support and the gap 133.57, and if that happens, that would be a dip buy on Amazon, and then you are going to see continuation to the upside from here. Now next week it's actually above 138 right here, so that is bullish for now. 138 can hold, that opens the door for a move all the way up to 146. Only when you see 138 breaking and this thing coming down here to this 5-day moving average right here, 135.89, and that's also breaking, that's when you know Amazon getting down here to this gap, and that's going to be a dip buy, also aligned with this 50-day moving average right here, 132.38. So there is lots of opportunities coming here on Amazon. There is no way anyone going up here and chasing Amazon, and if you're doing that, you're going to lose money on Amazon. Wait for a pullback down to this gap and the support 133 to 132. 50-day moving average right here sitting at 132, so that's going to be a strong zone right here to hold, and this thing is due for a pullback. You can see volume drying up also, so I think Amazon will come back here. It's just a matter of time, and you could see that early as next week because everything is getting too far overextended to the upside. I think the pullback is coming very soon in this market. On Microsoft, it's up 1.29%, and look at this insane move. It's getting far too overextended to the upside, and now it's trading above this big resistance right here, 351, and almost hitting the next resistance right here, 355. So I think going into early next week, yes, we could see a pullback, and where this thing can pull back to, down to this support right here, 351, and soon as that gives up, you're going to see a dump off down to 344.52, 5-day moving average right here, this blue line, and below that we also have a massive gap down here just under 340. Now Microsoft continues this way and breaks above 355, then things can change because it's not too far off from all-time highs, which is at 366.78. And above 355, that's going to happen on Microsoft. But I think what's going to happen, guys, there is definitely a pullback coming here on Microsoft, and overall on all the stocks in this market, how everything ran last week, there has to be a pullback next week. Now I could be wrong, but knowing that things are getting far too overextended to the upside, definitely it's not at a buy zone at this moment. I think things will come down and cool off, and then we could see that rally continuing to the upside. So watch the resistance at 355, and on a pullback, watch the support at 351, 344.52, and then the gap below 339. On AMD, it's up over 4%, and now finally trading above 110. The next stop, definitely the gap above around 115 and some change, and then could be coming up here to 118. Now this is the weekly chart right here on AMD. I don't know what happens here on AMD. Every time I click, daily, this thing will just disappear right here. I would not see it anymore. But hourly, 30-minute, and that is why I was putting out AMD on TradingView, or in some cases even on Yahoo. So AMD here, guys, this is a crazy, crazy move on AMD. Now this move will have to digest, and we could see a pullback possibly after filling the gap just under 116. And where can this thing pull back to? Definitely now. The first thing you want to look at 110, which finally AMD broke above 110, ran up to 113.39 on Friday, and now trading at 112.25. So if there is a pullback, watch out for 110 to hold. Also below that we have weekly support 107 right here, and then 105, and that would be a daily support. Weekly support, why? Because 20-week moving average right here sitting at 107. So below 110, it should be coming right down here to 107. And then we also have support at 105, 102, and then 100. Now to the upside, above 110, like I said, rally can continue all the way up to just above 115 and under 116 to close that gap on top, and then possibly can come up to 118. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. Thank you so much for watching.